Yahoo Fantasy Football. We're doing running backs right now. We're talking about running backs, how we think they're going to do next season, or this coming season. And we're at number 16 in the running backs column. Who do we have at the 16th best running back according to Yahoo?
The ever-entertaining Cedric Benson, who is currently in a lot of trouble, or facing a lot of trouble.
He could wind up suspended, so if you're taking him, take him knowing that you could not have him in the first month of the season. He's a great running back, though, and the Bengals proved that they have a good running game. So, if you can build the rest of your team appropriately, he's worth picking high in the draft, I think.
LaShawn McCoy. I would reach for this guy in maybe the second round.
I would too, because he's going to have Westbrook out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to run more in Philly. They're going to have to.
Right.
So I would maybe reach for him. I wouldn't go, crazy, let's take him first round. But,
right,
late second round, if some of the other pieces have fallen into place, go for it.
In Denver, we've got Noshawn Moreno. I got to know that name very well just because he was the Denver running back that I didn't have last year. I had Karel Buckhalter.
Ooh, how'd that work out for you?
It was your idea for me to get Buckhalter, if I recall, by the way.
Sometimes I give bad advice. But keep watching the rest of this video. Noshawn Moreno, I think, is going to have a good season, but not necessarily a great season. The Broncos I think, are a mess, but they have the potential to be the best team in the AFC. You never know what the evil scientist Josh McDaniels is going to do at coach. So
the evil baby-faced scientist Josh McDaniels.
Aren't I pretty?
We got Jonathan Stewart from
pick.
The Daily Show. From Carolina.
I'm taking Stephen Colbert with my next pick.
Yeah.
Stewart's going to be a great pick. I think that as long as Carolina stays healthy, this team is going to be competitive. And they have shown in the past that they are willing to run when they're behind as well.
Yes.
But I do think Matt Moore is going to keep them ahead in some games, which means these running backs are going to be definitely worth taking. I would take Jonathan Stewart.
All right. Joseph Adai. I think he's good. He's a good pick from, especially down as far down the depth chart of running backs as we've got. He's a good one. He's the starting running back for the Colts, who are the best team in the AFC. And even though, obviously the reason he's as far down is because the Colts don't run very often.
They also picked up Ronald Brown last year in the hopes of graduating Brown to number one running back by this point. Brown got hurt. It didn't pan out the way things did. I think Adai is going to get an extended run in the number one slot for the Colts running back.
And you just never know what you're going to get with Adai. Last year he threw his first touchdown pass. So
hey, there you go, 4 points for that. So I think Adai's a very good pick.
Yeah,
I would probably take him behind both Carolina running backs just to kind of gauge where you're going to take him. But he's definitely a great second round, third round pick.
We got Felix Jones here. For Dallas.
I think he's going to be really good. Dallas is going to be an excellent team. I think they're going to be an offensive threat across the board as long as things pan out like all the pieces are being placed into order right now. I think he's going to have a great season.
Yeah. He's a
second round pick as far as I'm concerned.
Ronnie Brown. Miami.
Great pick. I think he's a great pick. Miami. I think is going to play a lot better on offense. He's going to be able to get some more opportunities because they're going to have to start pulling people off the line to cover Brandon Marshall now. With the attention focused on the wide receivers for Miami and Chad Henne having a decent year, I think Ronnie Brown benefits most from that.
Yeah, I think he'd be really great.
And you never know with the Wildcat being thrown in, he could also get you a touchdown pass or two.
Yeah. Michael Bush for Oakland. No. I don't know.
I'm just going to say no.
Fair enough. Reggie Bush for New Orleans.
No.
No?
I think
he just got his Heisman taken away, didn't he?
Well, the school's returning his Heisman.
Oh, are they?
It's not been decided whether or not they're going to accept the returned Heisman,
though.
I think Reggie Bush is overrated, as he always is. He could be the number one running back on the Saints offense. But I think he's much like Lamar Odom is in the NBA. Lamar Odom could be a top 10 NBA player. He just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And I think Reggie Bush is the same. He just doesn't want to be top dog. He likes getting his paycheck, dating really hot chicks, and getting a couple touchdowns every couple of weeks. He's a good pick, not a great pick. I would wait till the 3rd or 4th round probably on him.
How about Matt fucking Forte, if you'll permit me the slang?
I think Matt Forte is a good pick. I think the Bears play better this year. I think they do play with a lead more often than they did last year, and I think Forte bounces back. He's looking to prove that he is not a one-and-done running back. I think
because of the season he had last year, I think he's probably got more value in your league than it looks like from his placement.
I think you can steal him too, because a lot of people are really low on Forte, who went in the 1st round in a lot of drafts last year. I think he's an excellent 2nd round pick.
Yeah. Justin Forsett for Seattle, also I think a really great sleeper pick.
Late 2nd, 3rd round is where I would gauge him. I think the Seahawks are going to be really good this year. Forsett was very good for the Seahawks last year. He's also going to have the benefit of a 2-headed running back game with Leon Washington. Leon Washington, I think, is a really good sleeper pick as we go further down the list. But Forsett, I think, is going to be the most benefited from the changes that Seattle's made on the offensive side. So I like him pretty high in the draft order.
Right on. Okay, how about Brandon Jacobs, part of the Giants' 2-headed running back game? One of the heads got cut off when Plaxico Burress shot himself in the foot.
Oh, first wide receiver.
What? No, it wasn't.
It was. Plaxico Burress is a wide receiver.
Whatever.
Anyways, I don't think the Giants are going to be very good. I think they're going to be behind a lot. I would stay away from Brandon Jacobs until later rounds.
As a wide receiver? Okay, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I got one right. All right.
Ricky Williams, the other Miami running back.
He's a good pick. I think he's a good pick because I think the Dolphins play well, and they've got a lot of offensive options that people aren't really paying a lot of attention to.
Yeah.
So I think he's a good pick. Second or third.
4th
round he might fall to.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, definitely take him.
Ahmad Bradshaw is kind of in the same boat as Jacobs. I'm not sure.
He
how
brought
much.
Good numbers back a lot of weeks last year, so I would might even take Bradshaw over Jacobs.
I've seen people really hesitant on picking the Giants running backs in mock drafts. I think there's just too many questions.
I personally just think the Giants are going to be terrible. I would probably stay away from both Giants running backs if it was me.
Fred Jackson's from Buffalo, so we can go ahead and disregard him.
They're going to be behind a lot. Don't pick him.
Marion Barber. Dallas is going to be a good team, but I would stay away from Barber. If I were in my league, I'm going to stay away from Barber.
I would take Barber if he was my number 2 running back. If I have a really good number 1 running back, then I would take Barber. But I wouldn't ride him to victory in your fantasy.
He's old, he gets hurt, and I don't think he's nearly as effective as he used
got
to
other
be.
options.
Yeah, exactly. Jerome Harrison for Cleveland.
I think he's a really good pick. The problem is Cleveland is not going to be playing with the lead very often. I don't think he's a flash in the pan with his amazing record-breaking performance last year against the Chiefs. I don't think he's a flash in the pan, but at the same time, I would draft him as long as you're drafting really good number 1 running back or, placing your safe bets in other spots, knowing that he's going to be a risk.
We've also got Montario Hardesty on that list, close by, which I think is kind of the same thing in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Sandwiched between them is C.J. Spiller, who got drafted by Buffalo.
I like him, and he's going to get a lot of opportunity to play.
Yeah.
Problem is Buffalo's not good, so Spiller's going to have a low ceiling until Buffalo either plays better or brings in some other options.
All right, more in a moment.